Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Nosy here, and this is Living Authentically, a place where we talk about how to be true to yourself, how to live more authentically in love and life and work and everything else in between. So today I want to talk about self-care. So yeah, the term self-care has been used a lot, especially in the last few years, where people are actually starting to realize that they are just as important as the next person, and it is important to take care of themselves. But I'm seeing a lot of self care tips on social media, but there are like few people I've noticed there are few people that talk about genuine self care, and I'm not saying that tips like taking a long relaxing bath or eating that chocolate cake is not self care. But I see it more as it can be a form of self care, but I see it more as like taking moments to celebrate yourself, taking moments to celebrate life, treating yourself to those indulgent things. So yeah, those are important too. Um, but there are self-care tips that I feel are very important as you try to live more authentically. Um, yeah, self-care tips that that help you take care of yourself, your whole self. Um, yeah, so yes, I'm going to start with the two common self-care tips. Is exercising and eating well. Um, I've heard it so many times. Exercising, eating well is a very important self-care tip. It makes you feel better. Um, it makes you feel lighter. It makes you feel better about yourself. But I recently heard that if you have a goal to change your lifestyle, if you have a goal to eat better, or if you have a goal to exercise more, it could help. It could go a long way um, to start by asking yourself, where's this goal coming from? Um, and really, really asking yourself, do I want to eat better and exercise more because I'm actually trying to punish myself for overindulging? Or am I doing this because I want to take better care of myself, because I'm learning how to love myself, or I'm loving myself more? Then I want to treat my body better. So is it coming from a place of punishment, or is it coming from a place of love? And I found that that has helped me to actually, yeah, it helped me a lot in those goals for myself, because I learned that actually maybe why like things haven't been working. Like I have a on and off relationship with the gym, and I don't always eat the right things. And I They are, over the years I've tried to have those goals, and I've tried to work towards them, and then they don't last. Um, I'll see results and then I revert right back to my old habits. And I realized that actually, as I asked myself that question, I realized actually those goals came from a place of punishment, where I was trying to restrict myself because I overindulged previously. So if it comes from a place of punishment, it's not likely that those um, goals are going to be sustainable. So yeah, it will help to sit and ask yourself, where are these goals coming from in terms of lifestyle changes. Also, another self-care tip would be to access um, access professional help when you feel you need it. So if you're feeling sick, find a doctor. If you're not feeling okay emotionally, mentally, find mental health care services. And there are free mental health care services. There's virtual or online therapy. There's telephonic therapy. There are a lot of resources out there that can help that help people gain more access to mental health care services. So if you're not feeling okay, or if you feel like you need a check-in or someone to talk to, take care of yourself and um, find the services that you need. And then another self-care tip that I find to be important is to be, um, yeah, to work towards your goals, pursue your dreams, respecting those goals, and yeah, respecting those goals and your work, but also being very patient with yourself when you feel like you need a break, and actually taking that break to properly recharge so you can get back to work feeling a lot better, feeling recharged, feeling ready to start working again. Because I know, depending on who you are, it could be work can be a very, very important thing. Um, but it is important to take those breaks and to listen to your body when you feel it's time to take a break, so that you don't burn out. And then another self-care tip that I found to be important, in my personal opinion, is to put up boundaries. To say no when you, um, yeah, to say no when you, yeah, to basically say no when you feel like you need to. Some of us, including myself, say yes to things we want to say no to, and it's not, yeah, it doesn't I find it hasn't really helped me to live more authentically. As I said in the first video, I did talk about people pleasing, um yeah, my people pleasing habits. So saying no to things you want to say no to, um yeah, is in my opinion very beneficial, can really help you. Um, so it's basically saying, yeah, not doing things because you feel like you have to do them. But I think it's also important to distinguish between those things you feel like you're forced to do, but don't have to do, and then those things that you know you have to do in order to reach the goals that are important to you. So if you want to live more authentically, if you want to break habits, if you want to make new friends, but you don't really, you're not really a person that goes out a lot, find ways to actually reach out and go out and reach out and make new friends. Um, because you want to because making new friends is a goal that is important to you. So things like that. So if you feel like you have to go out because everybody else is going out but you don't want to, then say no to that, because it's not important to you at that moment, at that time in your life. But um, if you feel like you have to try and really put yourself out there, go out more, be more a little bit more outgoing, um, because you want to make new friends, then try your best to take baby steps, and yeah, to take baby steps towards that goal. So yeah, it is important to distinguish between those things that you feel like you're forced to do but don't have to, but that and yeah, distinguish between that and doing things that you feel like you have to do if you want to reach goals that are important to you. So yeah, that is another self-care tip. And the last self-care tip that I can share with you is making promises to yourself and keeping those promises. So a lot of us, and I know including myself, we make promises to ourselves. We say, okay, I promise to eat better, I promise to exercise more, I promise to start saying no, I promise to work on that project, whatever it is. I know I make promises to myself very regularly, and and it has become very, very important for me to 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 actually make those promises come true, to actually meet those promises and not break them. Um, but it's not always possible. So I also find that it's important to realize when I broke those promises I made to myself, and asking myself why am I breaking those promises? Why do I keep breaking this promise to myself? Could it be that I'm scared to jump in and do whatever I need to do. So if I promised myself to, okay, I'm going to use this as an example. So I did promise myself that I would try a YouTube channel and I would see where it goes. Um, and if I kept breaking that promise to myself, I'd ask myself, okay, am I doing it because I'm scared? Um, for whatever reason, scared that I won't go anywhere, scared that I will, I will keep making mistakes, scared that nothing will come from it. Whatever the fear is, um, what what is the fear that is keeping me from keeping that promise to myself? Um, so it could be fear, it could be something else, it could be just that, the promise that I made to myself, I actually don't care for it. So if, for example, I promised myself that I would go for a run tomorrow morning, but I actually don't feel like it. Like there's nothing exciting about it. Like if it's like if it's coming from a place of apathy, um, then also, yeah, as long as I know this is a reason um, why I'm breaking this promise, and yeah, and also really understanding that apathy or that fear or whatever reason it is, whatever feeling it is, understanding that feeling that is blocking you from keeping those promises you make to yourself. It would be nice to, in my opinion, to actually understand that feeling better. If you are finding that you keep breaking promises that you make to yourself. Um, so yeah, making promises to yourself and then actually respecting those promises. I have found in my personal experience that it's a helpful self-care tip, um, and it helps me to feel better about myself. So if I actually keep those promises that I make to myself, I feel better about myself. I feel like I can trust myself more. I feel like I have more confidence in myself the more I do it. And then also really understanding why I keep breaking promises I make to myself, understanding what is that block. And I also found that if it's fear, if I'm just scared of failure or scared of making mistakes, then I find it's really not a good enough excuse for me to keep breaking that promise to myself. So I try to keep that promise to myself, even if I'm scared. So I try to, if I'm scared of doing something, then I'll always say, well, I can be scared and also do this thing. I don't have to wait for a day where I feel brave enough. I can just, I can have that fear and I can also do that thing and then seeing what happens. And it's not the end of the world if that thing doesn't end up working out, whatever it may be. Um, yeah, so I think keeping promises that I make to myself is a very important self care tip for me. Um, so yeah, I'd like to hear from you guys. What is self care for you? What do you do that um, makes you feel like you are taking good care of yourself? You're treating yourself the way you would want to be treated. What is that for you? What does that look and feel like for you? And what have you learned on your self-care journey? Yeah, so thank you for watching. Please drop those comments in the comment section, and also you can send me suggestions on what you would like me to cover. Um, yeah, and you can also, if you do feel comfortable, you can send your personal journeys to me and then I will share them with you on this platform. Thank you so much, and remember, living authentically is not a goal, it is a lifelong process, so it is important to be patient with yourself and compassionate with yourself. I will see you next time. Bye.